I mean, I've got to ask you then, obviously, about Federer. He's retired, and you played against him. What was the experience like? I mean, as someone who obviously was on the other side of the court with him or the net with him even, and some, as you said, one of the greatest ever. But yeah, I mean, what was the experience like? And was it one of those experiences where some people say, he almost is. At times he plays, and I think Kyrgios said it. He makes you feel like you're not good enough to be on the court, or that type of feeling, or is it just almost in awe of them? Like, how do you feel?
Yeah, I guess I was a bit fortunate. I mean, this was, I guess, kind of the second time people thought he was going to retire.
Yeah.
He had a tough go in 2016 with injuries, and he came back in 2017. I played him second round Australia. And yeah, I mean, I think the confidence within him, even after taking that much time off, is what is admirable to a certain extent. He didn't come out playing great against me, but he knew that I'd rather lose to this, to Noah Rubin than switch my game up. He was going to play his level, whatever that meant that day. He was going to play his game and not move from the baseline. I'm just going to stick on this baseline. I'm going to do what I know I can do. And he was missing a few balls, not feeling the ball great. And obviously he picked up pace after a while and he got his rhythm. But it's funny to see him. He just plays his tennis. He doesn't let anybody else, dictate how the match goes. And it's really something that I haven't seen at anybody else and from any other level. I'm seeing parts of it with Alcaraz right now. But between, the big three, that is something that Federer does that the others don't do. And he's going to play his level of tennis. So, yeah, I mean, it was interesting, seeing him across the net for the coin toss. He looked fake. It was like looking at a TV. He was the only one that I didn't really practice with beforehand, never really hit any balls or even really spoke to, where the other big three, including Murray, I played with before. And then, to see him upset and frustrated, I went up 3-0 in the third, him screaming and staring me down after I said, come on, in the third, like little things like that will be things that I remember and take with me throughout my journey. But it was a really great week. And to end it, that way, I wish I could have brought him into a fourth. I had my 2 set points in the third set. But regardless, that's definitely one I'll take with me forever.
Yeah, that must be an incredible experience. And a lot of people say, when they face Rafa, it's the heaviness and weight of the ball. Was there anything about when you played Roger that you thought, oh, actually, this is a bit different compared to other people that I faced?
Yeah, I think because I rewatched kind of the highlights a week after the match, and I kind of remembered before watching them, I was like, I don't remember. When people see me play, they're always like, oh, Noah got to a few balls that we never thought a car can get to. It's the speed, it's running down balls. And I was like, I don't really remember running down any balls. And we're talking about 3 sets. I don't know how many points we played, but usually amongst 3 sets, there's going to be, a couple balls that run down. And then I looked at the highlights. And I think that's what struck me is because of the time he takes away, because of how he plays his style, regardless of how I'm playing, he just made me look slow. That's kind of what it came down to. And that's really what struck me. I was watching his highlights. I was like, wow, that usually it was constructing to a point of like, oh, this is a point that I'm going to steal. I'm going to run down a shot. And then instead of taking that ball at the baseline, he took it at nearly the service line. And I was 2 feet away from the ball, the ball. And it's just little things like that where never really expected that from any other player. And obviously, you have to expect it a bit from Fed, but to see it, and then to put myself in those shoes again, it was definitely unusual.
Yeah, no, I can imagine that must have been quite frustrating as someone who obviously has made a kind of a name for chasing down balls, and then suddenly someone makes you seem like, oh, actually, hold on, I'm really fit. I can get to these balls, and you watch and think, oh, okay, maybe not against him.
Yeah,